untouchable.
Hang on. It's all right. I don't. It's been a semester.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which button it is for the intro, but I'm glad to get back in the booth. I think it's been a bit too long, but now we're
Yeah.
back, second semester. Definitely very excited to get going. A lot of good stuff happening over the weekend. A lot of upsets in college basketball. The championship round for the NFL playoffs. So there was definitely a lot to talk about, especially when I was jotting down. I'm like, I think that was probably the most college basketball I've ever written down for an
Yeah.
agenda in a long time. And a lot of stuff happening, especially over the last month. NBA, there was a couple big storylines that were going around. The MLB is a little bit slow right now, but pitchers and catchers report in the next few days. So I'm excited to start talking about baseball again, and we'll get into it. But we're both Yankee fans,
Yes.
and we want a move to get done. But first, I think we got to talk about the championship series and the NFL. I think two completely different games, in my opinion. The first game was slow, a lot of defense. The weather played a very big impact in the game. What did you see, at least from the Pats Broncos game, and what do you expect from the Pats here in the Super Bowl?
I mean, it's a low scoring game. Obviously, you kind of expected that going into it because New England's got a top defense. Obviously, the Broncos are one of the better defenses in the league. You got Pat Surtain, you got Nick Benito. Obviously, offensively, they have a structured game around running the ball. You know, RJ Harvey's okay, but he's a better receiving back than running back. Obviously, Bo Nix is good with his legs, knows how to pass the ball well. I just think that I think most of us that are Broncos, I won't say haters, but go into the playoffs. When you look at their schedule, strength of schedule, I mean, it's very, very poor. Obviously, you remember the historic Giants game where they had that sort of comeback in the fourth quarter, but they're getting absolutely blitzed by the Giants, one of the worst teams in the league. And when you look at a lot of their wins this season, like barely over teams over 500, they were very, very poor this season. Going into the playoffs, is Bo Nix that playoff, level quarterback, or he can take to the next level in the playoffs? Last year, you saw against the Bills, they struggled, got absolutely destroyed by the Bills last year. Obviously, this year to play the Bills in the rematch, they got the W, controversially, in my opinion.
I think he caught the ball.
Yeah, I think Khalil Shakir caught the ball, but it is what it is. They got their mulligan against the Patriots. But on the Patriots half, I'm similar to the Broncos. They got a great defense as well. Offensively, they have better weapons. Hunter Henry, Stephon Diggs had a comeback year. Travion Henderson, a running back. Will Campbell on offensive line. Obviously, just 12th Super Bowl now. I think they can have, similar to what we saw a couple years ago against the Rams in that low scoring Super Bowl where they beat the Rams in a very, very low scoring game. They have a chance in the Super Bowl, but I probably pick the Seahawks, even though I like the Seahawks. I don't like this rendition of the Seahawks. I'm a Russell Wilson fan, so that old version of the Seahawks with LOV with Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor, Bobby Wagner, they look very similar to that team. We're going to talk about the Seahawks later, but do the Patriots have a chance in the Super Bowl? Yes, but it's very slim.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, everyone was really low on the Pats because their schedule was very easy and stuff lined up. When you look at the playoffs, I mean, people are saying, "Oh, this person's hurt, this person's hurt," and again, we saw the Texans; they were injury riddled. We saw the Broncos injury riddled, obviously. But you got to play who's in front of you. I mean, injuries are a part of the game, right? You can't ignore that injuries won't happen in football. And it's unfortunate that it happened at the time it did for the Broncos, right? Losing Bo Nix right after the game.
Yeah.
No one knew he was even injured on the second last play of the game or whatever it
It
was.
was like on the kneel and he broke his ankle somehow. I don't know.
But again, it's all part of the game. Schedules are not in Pat's control, right? They don't have control over who they're playing. And they played who they were supposed to beat, right? And they got the number 2 seed in the AFC, and they're deserving of that. You play who's in front of you, and you're going to win games if you're a good football team. And I think the Patriots are a good football team. Their offense could be a little bit better. I mean, they have that two-headed running back duo with Stevenson and Henderson. But they don't have that clear wide receiver one. I mean, it's going to be tough for them to face up against a Seattle offense that's very well-rounded. You have Kenneth Walker in the backfield. You got Barner, who's a solid tight end. You also have Cooper Kupp. You have JSN, who's pretty much impossible to guard in man. But talking about the Seahawks, I mean, that was an insane game.
Yeah.
I thought it was over. As a Seahawks fan, I completely thought morale was down once I saw that taunting penalty
Oh yeah,
against Tariq Woolen. I'm like, oh
a
no,
stupid
this is.
penalty.
And then as soon as they got off the field, it was just the defensive players going at each other. I'm like, no way, this is how it ends. No way, this is how it ends. I would have been so upset if that's how it ended some way. Just, I mean, I would have been at a loss of words. Just, I'm happy we pulled it out, and the team seemed to round up together. It was funny. He said on Twitter the other day, or yeah, he said on I think Sunday night. It was that meme of like Mort from Madagascar's like, "Do you guys still love me?" and added the Seahawks and added the NFL, and everyone's like, "Yeah, yeah, you're good. Just lock in during the Super Bowl and use that energy towards the
Mhm.
Super Bowl." And you have to. I mean, Drake May is a solid QB. I mean, if they have any chance, and I think they do, it's projected to be a very close game. It's projected within 4 points right now.
Mhm.
We're gonna have talks of the next Brady and Belichick with Vrabel and May, and I think it's
Oh, man.
very true. I mean, Vrabel's a great head coach. He's one of the best new coach hires in the NFL in recent memory. And Drake May has been playing out of his mind. Um, but who knows? I mean, who do you got in the Super Bowl? I know you said Seahawks. What's the score prediction? How do you see the game turning out?
Obviously, a low scoring game, probably around 2017 Seahawks. Obviously, like I said, defense for both teams is elite. The Seahawks defense is kind of built around that LOB mold. You have a two-star corners. You have Devon Witherspoon. You have Tariq Woolen. Then you have Imawari, who's like a baby Caden Chancellor. He plays everywhere. He's the size of a linebacker, but he plays safety. Obviously, defensively, you have Leonard Williams. You have Ernest Jones in the linebacking core. Offensively, yes, like you said, they have better weapons than the Patriots. JSN, I mean, the best receiver in the league. He was absolutely fantastic. Led the league in receiving yards this year. Kenneth Walker stepped up, balled out in that game against the Rams. The Rams have a good defense, but obviously they got torched in that game.
They have a terrible secondary. That's
Yeah,
what
the
it is. That
secondary
front
is
line's
very bad.
okay, but that
Yes.
second is the reason why also the Rams lost that game was that special teams play.
Yeah,
right?
the fumble.
Muff punt, right?
Mhm.
Right into a touchdown. The second play or first play right after scored a touchdown. Seattle was struggling to score after that point, right? They couldn't get any offense going, but then that really got their offense going. Darnold got whatever he wants. So did Stafford. So I can't really say that either. Seattle defense does have their holes, but that's when a decent QB is back there like Matthew
Yeah.
Stafford. And can I say the same for May? I don't know yet. I need to see him. I mean, everyone's saying he faced 3 top defenses
Yeah,
or
did.
3 top 5 defenses, I think, in his way to the Super Bowl, right? And now he's gonna face the number 2 or whatever it was, right? So we'll see. I mean, sorry, you could continue off with your prediction.
No, like similar to what you said, like the collective unit that you have defensively, the teams that he played the Texans, he played the Broncos, now he has the Seahawks, who are I think one of the top scoring
Top 2, I
defenses
think,
in the
or
league.
top
So
1.
he's experienced that already prior to the Super Bowl. Obviously, the question is offensively for both sides, which offense can separate themselves? Obviously, Stephon Diggs is the number 1 receiver for the Patriots. You also have Kayshon Boutte, who's okay, but compared to JSN, I think it's going to be really, really hard for the Patriots. Obviously, you have to focus on JSN, but you still have Cooper Kupp, you have Kenneth Walker, you have AJ Barner, you have more threats than I think the Patriots do when it comes to the Super Bowl and offensively speaking.
What do you think a score prediction is going to be?
Either 20-17 Seahawks or maybe by a touchdown, 23-17 Seahawks. But it can be very much the opposite. Like, the offense can start clicking, and Stephon Diggs might have like a reincarnation back to his Bills form or the Vikings form. You never know. But I'm gonna probably lean slightly towards the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm probably going Seahawks. I think it's going to be high scoring. For one side, it depends on Drake May and how he reacts to that defense because he hasn't had the greatest offensive games the last 2. But I'm going Seahawks. I would say I like 27-23.
Yeah, close score.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be close. And then you also have here MVP preview. I think for me, I think it's still down to just Drake May and Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
I don't know if you think differently.
No, I'm on the same boat because other MVP finalists are somehow Trevor Lawrence made it as the MVP finalist was crazy, and then you have Christian McCaffrey. So I think it's just Drake May and Matthew Stafford. But the playoff performances by Matthew Stafford in the playoffs compared to Drake May, I think that's basically the separator.
Yeah, I think NFL is not. It doesn't include postseason, right?
Yeah.
It just includes regular season. But I don't know. It's probably going to be Stafford because everyone's going to take a hit on Drake May because of the easy schedule and everything.
Yep.
So I think it's going to be Stafford. I don't know. He was a great QB this year. Don't get me wrong, but I think there was other years where there was a clear cut. I don't know if it's as clear cut now, but I think Stafford's probably a heavy favorite right now. Um, but it's probably going to be Stafford. I mean, we still have NFL honors are the day before the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I could believe.
Saturday.
So we'll see right before if Stafford gets it or not, and we'll see. Only time can tell. And unfortunately, both of the MVP candidates haven't had the most ideal year, right? I mean,
Mhm.
the Rams had really bad losses that their special team screwed them or their defense. And Drake May is going to take that hit, obviously, because of the easy schedule and not having the offensive weapons. But after having what was it? They were 3-14 last year or
Yeah,
whatever, to
they're
now
very bad.
flipping the switch and being 14-3. I think that should be taken into account too, right? And it's pretty much built the same roster. It's not a crazy roster change on
Yeah.
at least for Drake May. So he's pretty much going in with the same team and beating. I still that one win that really put it over the top for me was when May went into Buffalo and beat Josh Allen. That was a big win for him.
Mhm.
But who knows? It's probably going to end up being Matthew Stafford. I think now we transition to what I think the bulk of our show is going to be today. I think it's going to be college basketball. The Saturday slate for college basketball was stacked. I mean, you got BYU, Utah, you got Purdue, Illinois, Bama, Tennessee, Auburn, Florida, you got Georgia, Texas Tech versus Houston, UNC, Virginia, and then you just got two mid majors who are also killing it right now in the top 25. So I think we got to start off with AJ DiBentanza, who is projected to be the number one, number two pick behind Darren Peterson of Kansas.
Mhm.
He went off for 40 points, and he didn't even know what that rivalry was
Yeah, me either.
before the game. The Utah, I think it's called the Holy War. At least that's what they call it in college football.
It's more popular on the football side than the basketball side.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I didn't even know. I guess they'll show out for you guys. But he went off for 40 points. I don't even know how many rebounds and assists he had.
43, 6 and 3. 6
So, yeah,
rebounds.
I mean,
assists,
for him to put up that type of numbers and really just demolish that. I mean, Utah's an average team, middle of the pack this year in the Big 12. I didn't really expect much from Utah this year. There was a kid on Utah who was at Manhattan my sophomore year. So it's cool to see him kind of hoop around Seydou Traore. He's getting solid minutes, but again, I think it was just BYU demolition, right? I mean, just nothing else you could say. They're top 15 for a reason, and they could make a run to that Final Four, especially with that roster. They have a really good shooter, and that kid Saunders, I think it's pronounced his last name.
Corey Saunders, yep. And then
he has a quick shot.
Rob Wright at point guard. They have a good roster, but compared to a lot of teams that like we saw last night with Arizona, they can compete, but it's just the difference makers. I don't think they have enough difference makers outside of AJ DiBentanza.
And then also, just I want to bring up what the heck is happening with Purdue, man.
I mean,
they have not won convincingly, it seemed, in weeks. I don't think they've had a double-digit win since like the second or first week of January, right? And the Big 10 isn't not a strong basketball. I think not a strong basketball conference. Like,
I mean, Michigan's in there.
Michigan's in there.
It's playing well. Nebraska's undefeated. So you have some good teams.
You have some good teams, but overall, they're not the greatest conference, right? You got the top 4, right, is decent, but then the bottom 13 is really bad.
Yeah.
Like UCLA has been playing good basketball, but they're not a team that's gonna surprise me. They're not gonna go on that big run. And Wisconsin's and they're okay, right? They're 7-3 in the last 10.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State's 6-4, but like again, that bottom tier is just not good. And that loss to UCLA, man, that's a bad loss. They dropped heavy in the AP poll. I mean, Illinois is a good team. I won't take that as much against them.
Yeah, it's a really, really good team.
But that UCLA loss, I think that was the reason why they dropped 8 points in that AP poll, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you look at who they played USC, only won by 5. You play Iowa, only won by 7. Purdue, you won by 8. Washington, you won by 8. Wisconsin, January 3rd, they won by 16. Like,
they're very inconsistent.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Braden Smith is gonna do Braden Smith things. He was projected to be one of the best players in college basketball this year. Has been unfortunately underwhelming, but we'll talk about that later because I think the new class coming in is really taking over college basketball. But I don't know. I was so high on Purdue to begin the year, and they just haven't really impressed me the last few weeks, man. Just very underwhelming. Haven't been playing good basketball. I don't have that roster. They're going off of Braden Smith, who's let's see what year he is. He's a senior, right?
Yeah,
So
they have a lot of seniors in that squad. Trey
so
Coffin Rand, Fletcher Lawyer. They have a lot of veterans on that team.
so are they going to be able to compete after he leaves? Who knows? But I don't know if they're really set up for success right now because they've been very underwhelming this year, and I feel like it's been the same thing year in and year out. They've been playing great basketball during the regular season, during conference play, and then once March Madness hits, they have that one game where they just collapse and they just can't get over that hump. And unfortunately, I was high on them saying they could have won the national title this year, but
Mm.
I don't know now. I don't know
Yeah,
now.
Arizona seems like they're the go away favorite. And another team that was streaking that we were talking about, Florida, they lost to Auburn on Saturday.
Yeah, they had a really good start to conference play once the conference play rolled around because they were struggling a little bit in non-conference.
Yeah.
Their backcourt of Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee have been struggling as of late. Xavier had a decent game a few weeks ago when he changed jersey numbers, actually,
Yeah.
ironically.
They forgot his jersey on the road trip, and then they gave him an extra jersey.
The number 99. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I should wear number 99 now for the rest of the year, which I thought was pretty funny. I mean, I would keep it. That was arguably his best game of the year. And then just, again, Florida. Hopefully this doesn't like spiral for Florida and they could do good things. But again, they dropped 3 points in the AP poll. They're now 19 in the AP poll. I mean, they beat LSU, who again, LSU is one of, if not one of the weakest teams in the SEC.
They're not that good.
Really good win at Vandy. But I don't know. It's interesting to see what that Florida team could be because they have really high highs and then really low lows. Like Xavier Lee was one of your biggest transfers,
yeah.
right? He dropped 20 when he had that win at Vandy, and then just 7 points, 7 points.
Yeah.
7 points against LSU, and then 7 points against Auburn. I mean, that backcourt's just really inconsistent, and the scoring's the issue for those two, right? They're both averaging double figures, yes, but they haven't been putting up same thing with this team. Like when they play good, the team plays good, but when they play bad, they're playing bad. It's like high highs again and low lows for that Florida team. So that floor is really low, but that ceiling could also be very high. But I don't see them, unfortunately, being that national title contender for the same reason that we said with Purdue, right? I think it's just really, really inconsistent, and we just need to see a little bit more out of Florida as a whole. But I mean, they got to turn it around. Let me just see their schedule and how they should be doing. But who knows? I could be completely wrong. They play South Carolina, which should be a win. They play them Wednesday. The big one, I think, for me is going to determine is this next 4-game stretch to begin February. They play Alabama. They play at A&M. They play at Georgia, and then they go home to play Kentucky. That's a tough 4-game, 2-week stretch.
Yeah, and then back in the season, they play Arkansas as well. So, yeah, they do have a tough stretch. And then at Texas and at Ole Miss.
So they lose 2 of those games. They could be easily out of that top 25.
But they can go on a run in the SEC tournament, win the SEC tournament, and then they're back.
I mean, they definitely could be an at-large, right? If they're ranked, they're going to be an at-large of at least a 4 or 5 seed maybe. But it's tough because I don't know if I'd be scared of that 4 or 5 seed, right? Because they're just, it all depends on how they feel that day. It's not like they still have that guy that could really take over games. I mean, you still have Thomas Haw, and Condon, who are both great players. They're more consistent, obviously, than the backcourt, but you can't rely, man, on that front court. You got to rely on that backcourt sometimes because they're the facilitators. And if they're not playing well, I mean,
they struggle.
Yeah, because the ball runs through them. And then another one I'm happy who lost, Alabama losing to Tennessee. I am very happy that Alabama lost. That was Charles, I don't know how to pronounce the name, but Zyko, his debut for Alabama, the G League player. He played well when he got in, but I think it's very deserving that they lose. I hate the idea of bringing in G League players because that was a big thing that happened when we were gone for winter break was they're allowing now G Leaguers who haven't signed a pro contract or a 2-way contract to allow them to play in the NBA. And the same thing goes with Baylor. Baylor sucks with that kid they brought in. And now Bama losing against Tennessee, which is so happy. I saw one TikTok just to make sure I got all my stuff right. A lot of the people who were talking about it on TikTok were happy because no one agrees that G Leaguers should be playing in college basketball. I mean, that's my opinion. What do you think,
No,
Akeem?
I 100%. Once you leave college and you're starting to play G League, you start to play NBA play. Like obviously G League's not the NBA, but you're still part of the
You're still
NBA.
playing
Yeah,
guys who played in the NBA. You're still
exactly.
playing up against professional
Yeah,
players, right?
you're playing like veterans that have been in the league for 6, 7 years, or have been in European basketball for a couple years. So it's ridiculous. I don't know why the NCAA is allowing it. But it's
They just
maybe
granted him a new waiver, like
uh,
for a couple more days because of the postponement or whatever, like a snow day.
yeah.
I'm like, dude, just it's time to hang it up. Like, I don't really understand why you're giving these guys chances. I mean, you declared for the draft. I get it, you didn't get drafted. And I know you can make some money now in NCAA and in college with NIL and how crazy it is, but you should not be playing, man. You're playing against, say, if you played against a Bronny James, right,
Hmm.
who has professional experience. You're playing guys who got drafted or unsigned and are consistently playing there. And you want to go back to college for a few days, and God forbid his waiver and his eligibility gets denied. It's a joke. It really is. I mean, I'm happy Baylor's been not playing good since they brought in that new player. I forgot his name. But
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It makes zero sense to me. But
yeah,
and also in that game, like I said, I mentioned before off the podcast, Nate Ament, that kid's really, really nice.
this freshman class,
Yeah,
man.
29 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. 6'10", can score at all 3 levels. I think he's a top 20 NBA prospect in this upcoming draft, so he's going to be a borderline lottery pick. I mean, like you said, this freshman class, you have Darius Acuff, you have Kobe Pete, you have Cameron Carr, AJ DeBonsa. I mean, you have so many fantastic players a part of this class. And all of them are like 18, 19 years old. Jaden Quinton, so like, they have high ceilings and they're super young.
Yeah, I mean, that was just really showing this Tennessee team can cause problems in almost like every sport it seems that they're good at. And now, like the SEC has just been on the up the last few years in basketball. I think they're taking over what the ACC once was, right?
Yep.
With just it seemed every blue blood in the ACC was just dominant. We're in the days of, I mean, Duke is obviously still
Dominant.
yeah, I can't get that
Dominant. Yeah.
dominant. And they got UNC back in the day. Also had Syracuse, who was good. Georgetown, when I think they were in the ACC at times. But that ACC used to be something, and now,
Mhm.
I mean, Louisville's also been playing really good basketball as of late. But
Not
I don't
last
know,
night.
something
They
about
got
the SEC, man. I think it means more, as that funny saying goes. But I think SEC basketball is on the up, and I could see a world where SEC football could go on the downhill, right? Because they didn't play well in the college football playoffs, the SEC, right? They didn't have a single team in the national championship with
no.
Indiana, Miami. So I think everything's now it's pivoting, right? So the Big 10, Big 12 is showing out. The ACC has been pretty decent at football. Miami is going to continue being a powerhouse. I don't know. SEC basketball is on the up, and it seemed like all the games that we're talking about, like a lot of the teams in the AP top 25 are just SEC teams
Yep.
who play solid basketball. I mean, again, I was giving it to Florida a little bit, but like they're a solid team. Like they're gonna beat an ACC team. They're gonna beat a Big 10, a Big 12 team once they get to the tournament, right? So, I mean, the SEC like they're bringing in the talent. I mean, they have the money now to bring in this top tier talent, and a lot of these kids, obviously, we still got Duke, who's bringing in
Can
3 players from the top
five-star
25.
recruits. Yeah.
So they're continuing to be good. Shout out to John Shire, who's continuing to bring in insane talent. Again, shout out to also want to give a shout out to Blair Academy for that's where my sister goes.
Mhm.
They have a top player in New Jersey there who committed to Duke. The number two, I think number three committed to Duke. They have 10, they have 14.
Yeah, Duke and North Carolina always get at least 1 or 2 or 3 5-star recruits every single year because they're Duke and UNC. Well,
I
that's
thought
what
it
they
would
play
take a
together.
hit once Williams and what's his face? I'm blanking right now. Coach K left.
Okay, yep.
But no, they're still bringing in that great talent. I mean, it's great to see what they're doing. At least Duke, UNC's been good. They're not bringing in the top tier talent like some of these other teams, but I think it's also what we're seeing. We'll get into a little bit later. Is just the kind of spreading out of the talent. Right, they're all
Yeah.
going to different schools. They're not all not going to the same
Yeah, NIL.
power school. Yeah, and whatever team's paying the most, or whatever you feel like you get more playing time, that's where kids will end up going. Couple teams I want to also talk about before we get into honestly the mid majors and freshman class. Tech beating Houston.
Yeah, yeah. Texas Tech is a really, really good team. JT Toppin plays for Texas Tech. I mean,
Insane.
really,
Great
really good
player.
player. And then Houston's been good the past 5-6 years under
Yeah.
that coach. I forget
They
what's
Tech demolished that defense in that first half. It
Yeah.
was just they found every shot they wanted and just got it. I mean, they out rebounded them too. And then Houston has a solid defense, right? That's not, I don't think that's, I don't know what the issue was. I mean, I think it was just a weird game for Houston. I wouldn't really count that game really against
against them,
them.
yeah.
But again, that was just
J-
Tech shooting lights out. I mean,
and JT
50,
Thought
what was
just
it,
dominating.
55 or something in the first half alone?
Stats wise, they had a total of 41 rebounds, and Houston had 25.
Yeah, just completely dominated them on the offensive rebound as well, scoring 55 points, I think, in that first half. And then what is it called? Houston just couldn't find an answer at that point. It was like morale was down. That was probably one of the worst defensive games that Houston's seen all year. But I don't expect Houston to play like that again. I mean, they're a really solid team. Another big win was UNC upsetting Virginia. They needed that after a couple bad losses on the road during their Cali road trip. So good to see them bounce back. And then I also love to see two mid majors in the top 25. You don't see that anymore nowadays. You got Miami of Ohio, and then you got St. Louis University.
But let's be honest, like looking at their schedule,
that's what I said about the Pats too. It's like you play who's in front of you. I get you're in, like you can't do much, right? If your schedule, obviously, you could build a schedule. Sorry, I gotta fix this mic. You could build your schedule. You could add a little bit of a tougher non-conference, but again, you're a mid-major. It depends. And SLU was a good mid-major. Who knows? Maybe those power conferences really didn't want to face SLU because they know that could have been a bye game that they lost, right? But Miami, Ohio, again, they didn't. I was looking at their schedule the other day. They didn't have a very heavy non-conference schedule.
Yeah, I mean, they play a lot of, like you said, low Division I, not even a lot of mid-major schools, to be honest with you. Like looking at their schedule, I mean, they beat Buffalo, but it went to overtime.
The big one was against Kent State.
Kent State
on the road.
Yeah, which I mean,
that was the big one.
That's an okay basketball program. Then you have Western Michigan, Central Michigan, Toledo, Milligan, Bowling Green, UNC in Asheville, Maine. I mean,
yeah, I mean, but when you're 20-0, you gotta rank them until they lose, right? Because who knows? They could face a Power 5 and make some noise, even if they do lose versus a Power 5 in non-conference, but they kept it competitive. I'm not holding that loss against them, right?
Yeah.
So you're mid-major, you're not bringing in the top tier talent. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see 2 mid-majors in there, SLU, A10, and then you got Miami of Ohio, which I believe is the MAC, not the conference that Iona's in. But again, it's just great to see how 2 mid-majors are playing well. And it's also for like a Fairfield for women's, right? They're playing who they're playing and they're just dominating front and back, all ways of the ball. And they're getting some votes in the AP, but it's tough for them, right? Because women's basketball is so competitive. That top 25 is a really good top 25. It's going to be tough to break that. But in college basketball, I mean, that low, like the mid to low 20s, it's just tough. Not tough to break in, but it's not the greatest talent, right? You got St. John's, who just, I believe, bumped in to the top 25.
25th in AP poll right now.
But again, that's another very inconsistent team. But we'll see. I mean, Patino's having them play well. Big win against Xavier against his son over the past weekend, saying he'll leave his team in Cincinnati if they lost. I don't know if he was joking or not, but it's Rick Pitino, so anything could mean that. And then we were pretty much talking about this throughout the whole show, kind of, and just how great this rookie class has been, right? I mean, it's just amazing to watch. There seems to be a star rookie on every single team in that top 20, right? That's just playing ballistic. Like some of the ones that I want to list, right? That I know has been playing really good basketball. You got Solo Ball. We talked about AJ DiBentanza. We didn't really talk about Cam Boozer, who's also playing amazing. You got Kingston Fleming. You got Keaton Wagler, Caleb Wilson, Darren Peterson, Darius Acuff, Nate Ament. Like that.
It's very, very
that freshman class is insane, and they're all averaging near 20 points a game.
Yeah, they're incredible. Braylon Mullins is another one that I like out of UConn because UConn's one of my favorite teams. We're from New York. Our Syracuse is not not the greatest. We have Kyan Anthony, which is cool.
I don't know if he's going to declare, but I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, he needs more time developing. But like you said, I mean, Braylon Mullins, Kobe, Keaton Wagler, Abiko Orari, Kingston Fleming, Darius Acuff, Darren Peterson. Well, Darren Peterson's not a freshman. My bad. But Caleb Wilson, age advanced, Cam Boozer. But Braden Mullen's a player that it's a fantastic player. If you watch that, I think it was the Providence game. He had like 24 points and he had like 6 threes in that game. And they were struggling in that game too. They were down by double digits at the half, and almost like I think like 5-6 minutes left in the game. They're still down like 8-9 points, and he single handedly as a freshman just took them over the top. 24 points, 3 assists, 6 3-pointers in that game against Providence. They won a overtime game, I think, this past Saturday. Against who was it? It was
UConn,
UConn.
Villanova.
They beat Villanova. Big East is still kind of tough, but
I don't know. Big East has been underwhelming.
but UConn's obviously head and shoulders above everyone else, and they kind of seem like you said, solo ball as well, and part of that team. Alex Caravan, fourth year senior, Terrace Reed. They're probably one of the teams, in my opinion. Silas Demery as well, the Georgia transfer. They're one of the teams, in my opinion, that if they keep informed the way they're playing right now, they can, very much well be back in the national championship game. I mean, they won 2 of the last 3.
Yeah,
Last year was Florida.
UConn and Hurley knows how to coach. I think that's the biggest factor is just knowing to coach these big games and getting the best out of your players. Like right now, I would say the 4 that I trust the most right now, or 5, I would say, that I trust the most. I really trust Arizona this year. They've been playing good. Almost blew that game yesterday, up 20 with 10 minutes left pretty much, and almost blew it, which would have been shocking. I trust UConn a lot. I don't know about Michigan. They've been up and down this year. I trust Duke. I got to see something out of Nebraska. Again, they're playing really good. One of 3 undefeated teams left. Barely beat out Michigan State in January, but
Michigan State's good though.
Beat Illinois in December. But I really got to see how they play tonight, actually, against Michigan. That's going to be the real determining factor for me, how they play against Michigan. And then another team I really like, one of the best defenses, Tom Izzo knows how to coach. I really like Michigan State this year. I mean, they're a solid team. And then again, those Texas schools, Houston Tech is really good. BYU, I don't know if they have enough round talent for it. But I think those are like the 5-6 teams that I really trust the most.
Yeah,
especially with like coaching as well. They got great coaches who know how to be there, and the talent levels there on those rosters. But those are the teams that I kind of trust, at least when it comes to getting at least to the Final Four and maybe winning the national championship. What do you think? What are your teams that you feel like, yeah, these are the teams that could really make some noise?
Yeah, similar to you said, and like obviously Arizona almost blew last night, but they have Braden Burries, they have Ko Pete, they have fantastic talent in their squad. We already talked about UConn; they're up there. Michigan's a bit shaky, but still they're really good defensively, and especially when they're locked in. They were blowing teams like 20 points per game when they're super locked in. Duke, obviously, I mean Cam Boozers and on that squad, Isaiah Evans, Nebraska, and like I said, Michigan's their litmus test tonight. Michigan State's good. Illinois, they have a lot of good players on that team. Good European players as well. They got Paige Stojakovic's son on that squad, Kylan Boswell. Houston, Texas Tech. I'd say Florida is a dark horse in my opinion still. Like you said, if that backcourt can play well and they have really, really high highs, they're the defending champs technically still. So they're in that mix. UNC beat Virginia, so maybe they can be part of that mix. But top 4 for me is Arizona, UConn, Duke, and I'll be on board with you. Would take Michigan State.
Yeah, I think it's just that defense that's really going to put them over that top. I think that's going to wrap it up. Just checking the agenda, see if we missed anything. The one game, Georgia falling to Texas, that keeps Texas on the bubble to make the tournament. I think that's pretty much it. Now we'll get into NBA. A couple big things happening over the weekend. Giannis getting hurt out about a month and a half to 2 months. With I forgot what injury it was, but he's out, so that maybe could hurt his trade block and his trade stuff because he won't be back until April, end of March, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's time we have conversations about if Giannis should request out. I think he should, right? Because they're not building a team around him to compete, and he's given all to that city. He's got him a championship, and they just haven't really won in the playoffs since that chip. And it's been, what, 4 years since that?
4 or 5 years, yeah.
And they haven't done anything. I think they could trade him. They could get a really big package out of him. But it all depends on where he wants to go, because I think he probably could push where he wants to go. And it's all up to Giannis. I know he wanted to big market because he said all Europeans should be in big markets. You got Jokic obviously in Denver. You got what's another one? You got Luca in LA. So I think you are in big markets. So what do you think of Kane? Where do you think Giannis should request? I know you might say the Knicks, but
I mean,
as a Knicks fan,
it was a team that he kind of requested in the summer, but they negated that trade. Obviously, the top teams, like you said, well, not saying the Mavericks, the Knicks, Lakers, um, Miami's potentially a landing spot. Obviously, I'm gonna be a bit biased. I think he should go to the Knicks. And when you look at the teams that can offer the Bucks a package that they want, you can get Mikal Bridges, you can get Cat, who keep you in the playoff contention. But if you want to flip him the next season and get a bunch of draft assets, you can. Miami's in there, but do they have enough
I saw
draft?
Toronto is a little sneaky team.
Toronto's a good team.
Better
Depending on
talent.
yeah, they're not going to trade Scotty Barnes, so you're limited to You're limited to R.J. Barrett, Colin Murray's Boyle. I don't think they're going to trade him. He's a rookie. Grady Dick, maybe you get Grady Dick, R.J. Barrett, a couple first round picks, and maybe you get Sandro or someone that could be a salary cap filler, Emmanuel Quickly or something like that. Comparing those trade packages, and then maybe you can ask for a trade to the Lakers because next year LeBron most likely will retire. So you clear that huge cap space that they have from LeBron with 40 plus million. Then you have Rui as a free agent. So potentially him going to the Lakers, Luca could be a potential landing spot, and then they still will have money free agency wise to move around and get key pieces to fill out the roster. So me saying the Knicks is a bit biased, but I think the Knicks is a good spot. But
do they have the depth to get rid of? Like, do they have the picks too? Because your
Yeah.
whole franchise is gonna be gone for that one player, right? And I don't know. Brunson got the extension, right? Or
yeah, Brunson got the extension. He took the pay cut to give to Mikal Bridges and Cat, and obviously OG Anunoby has a huge contract extension, which he's a bit overpaid, but he's still a fantastic
I think you
player.
got to do some salary dump
Yeah.
if you know you're going to bring on Giannis. You got to get rid of one of your big players. But I don't know. Giannis is a great player, but you got to know if he's going to resign and want that extension. That's a big thing I want when you're trading for big pieces. Or they're going to sign that extension. That could also be the Yankees fan of me talking. We didn't get rid of a lot for Soto, thank God, but he obviously didn't resign. But then you look at a trade package like the Mets for Freddie Peralta, right? He's on an expiring contract? Is he going to extend? That's the one big thing. Are you going to talk to the organization about re-signing? Because if I was a GM, I want to make sure you're staying here long term before getting rid of big pieces. Because Giannis, he's a big piece, right? You want him for long term, and then you're going to be good for forever, right? And he's going to be, I think he'll thrive in New York. He'll feed off the crowd.
Yeah, 100%.
And the crowd's going to love him, right? But they're going to be hard on you if you don't play well. But Giannis doesn't have that issue. Like, they're not going to boo you like they booed Cat after airballing a three, which again was one of the worst wide open three, just airballing it completely. But I don't know. Let me just look up real quick the top landing spots for
the
Giannis.
Hawks potentially. The Hawks can, they have Kristaps Porzingis free agent, Luke Kennard,
but he's always hurt, man. I'm so glad the Yankees, the Celtics, as a Celtics fan, they got rid of him because big contract, and
you have Jalen Johnson as the star piece there. You can trade it. Well, you already traded away Trae Young, so it clears a lot of cap space. You have Dyson Daniels. You have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I guess the first round picks is probably the most appetizing for the Bucks in that deal. Pistons maybe, Rockets potentially because they have Brooklyn's 2027 first round pick swap. So I mean Brooklyn's been absolutely terrible. So you're talking about a top 5 pick already to replace with him, and they also have Phoenix pick. Phoenix next season. I mean, will they be good? I don't know. It depends on how they play next season. Like I said, the Heat's up there. Timberwolves maybe.
There's one little scroll down a little bit more that I could see.
The Knicks, obviously, and then the Thunder. I mean, obviously, the Thunder's one that if you just want picks back, which the Bucks most likely want in this trade, if they were to trade Giannis, they want at least 3 to 4 first-round picks. You're getting top picks from several teams. They have the Clippers pick. They have Houston's pick. They have Utah's pick in 2026. They have Philadelphia's top 4 protected pick in 2026. 2027 first-round picks. I mean, obviously, we already know Sam Presti is a pretty good GM in getting first-round picks, so they can utilize those picks that they have. Spurs, which it's probably crazy, but
that's the one I was gonna say. It might be crazy, but I could
De'Aaron Fox,
see it. They have the young talent, man.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox.
They could get rid of a Castle. They could get rid of a Harper. I think
Yeah.
Harper would probably be in that package. 'Cause again, they have a lot of guard depth on that team, and I think that could be a fun little landing spot right there.
But how would Wemby and
'Cause, also first round swap with Atlanta, who's
yeah.
not gonna be good. Atlanta for the next 2 years. You got Boston, who's, gonna compete, unfortunately.
Hmm.
So they can, not unfortunately, why did I say unfortunately? Unfortunate for, I guess, the Spurs because the Celtics are gonna be competitive. Um, but again,
It's gonna be
it's
like
interesting to see where
yeah.
he goes or if he even gets dealt, or I could see him requesting out in the offseason.
Because
Because the injury, right? Who's
hmm
gonna take on that contract if he's gonna be injured for 4 to 6 weeks? But we'll see. I mean, time will tell. That injury is gonna hurt them, and we'll, we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
do you think, let's say hypothetically speaking, they trade the Spurs? Let's say the Spurs trade away De'Aaron Fox, Keldon Johnson, and Devin Vassell, or let's say Kelly Olynyk, and a couple first round picks, and they have a starting lineup of who would they have? They would have Stephon Castle because they traded or they kept Dylan Harper or Stephon Castle, one of those two they get trade. Let's say they kept Stephon Castle, trade Dylan Harper. Will Stephon Castle, Giannis, and Wemby be better than also they'll have Harrison Barnes there? But compared to the Knicks, if you trade away Cat, you trade Mikal Bridges, you have a lineup potentially of, let's say you keep Deuce McBride, you have Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart maybe at the two, or you probably put Deuce McBride at the two. You have OG, Giannis, and then Mitchell Robinson. What do you think would be a better?
I think the Spurs.
Really?
You're gonna have two big men in that lineup. How do you guard Giannis and Wemby? You can't, and you also have a guard who's
Defensive
plays
monster.
an MVP level with Castle, or not MVP. He's all-star level,
Yeah.
excuse me, an all-star level with Stephon Castle, and then you got Dylan Harper, or who could also be at that level too, right? He's been playing pretty solid. But again, I'm probably gonna have to take.
You would take that Spurs team
I'll take the
over
Spurs
the
team
Knicks team.
because yeah, say if De'Aaron again, if you're gonna probably you might have Fox. You're probably I would say you probably part ways with Keldon Johnson.
Hmm.
Vassell is probably going to be in that. I mean, Harper's a solid player. I mean, he's a rookie averaging 10 points, but obviously his role is a little diminished because he still got Castle, right?
Yeah.
Got Fox, who's taking up some of the minutes. Um, yeah, I mean, you probably could get rid of Sohan too because you don't need another like big guy
Point
in there.
forward, yeah.
So I think a package would probably be like Sohan, a couple first round picks, Vassell. I think you could get rid of a Castle or a Harper. I think they're probably gonna have to be one of the two. But again, if you look at that, you got De'Aaron Fox at the 1. You got either Harper or Castle at the 2,
Hmm.
and then you got Champagne at the 3,
Giannis and Wemby.
Giannis and Wemby. That 5 is ridiculous.
And yeah, to be fair, Giannis, yeah. But
But then the Knicks, though, like, and who'd you say the Knicks would have to give up?
Knicks will most likely have to give up just because contracts, to match up the contracts. Obviously, Cat, and then maybe Mikal Bridges, and obviously the picks they involve into that trade. And you pretty much keep Deuce McBride, you keep Gershon Yabusele, who's been okay. Jordan Clarkson's been great off the bench. Tyler Coke's been fantastic off the bench as well. And then you have OG Anunoby, but one of the better two-way players in the
But are
league.
you think they're gonna want OG?
I mean, he's either OG or Mikal. I'd rather trade.
I think it was gonna be
I'd rather
multiple
trade.
players. I don't know if you get Giannis for 2.
I mean, depending on what else do you want, do you get Deuce as well or Tyler Kohler?
I think you probably would give up a Deuce.
Yeah, okay. So you trade Deuce McBride, you trade
But that's like your whole starting lineup at some points. Like,
OG
do you
Mikal.
trust Mitchell Robinson? I mean, you would probably send him to the bench, but
Yeah.
I don't know because Giannis would probably be a power forward. You maybe have Mitchell as a center.
Honestly, you can play Giannis at the center position, then play OG at the 4, and then the spaces the floor even more. And then Giannis is only big man on the floor. And also, he's a great defender. He's a great help side defender. Obviously, rebounding team would probably be really, really bad at rebounding, having Giannis at the 5. But I still think the versatility of that team would be a slightly better than what you have with the Spurs. And obviously, you would have to trade De'Aaron Fox. So, do you trust Dylan Harper or Stephon Castle to score 25 points per game? Because
I don't think they need to if they have Wemby and Giannis.
but also Wemby's kind of on a minutes restriction right now.
He's been playing more, but obviously they're saving him
Mm-hmm.
obviously for the playoffs, and they're gonna get to the playoffs, and he's gonna play a lot of minutes. Like last game, his minutes are going up. He's at 31 now. Dropped 16 and 16 in a loss to the Pelicans. 26 in 33 minutes. So once he gets up to 40 minutes, he's going to drop near 40 points a game, which is scary.
But can you stay healthy? That's the thing. That's
I mean, he's
major.
been healthy on the minutes restriction, right?
Yeah.
So
But once it gets to the playoffs, it's going to be a lot
more, yeah. But they're taking it easy because they know, like right now, Spurs are in what place? They're in second in the Western Conference. 5.5 games behind the Spurs, 5.5 games behind the Thunder, who've been very inconsistent. That is to say, the very least. Like you absolutely beat the belts off the Cavs, who have been very underwhelming this year.
Yeah, Cavs are a bit disappointing as a team.
But then you also lose to the Raptors, and you lose to the Pacers, and you lose to the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
You beat the Spurs by 30. I mean, it's going to be tough to lose 4 straight to a team. You beat the Grizzlies by 1. You beat the Jazz by 4. Like their losses are not pretty losses, and their wins haven't been pretty.
And they started the season off a historic rate. They were seen
as one of the greatest teams of all time.
70-win team, and then now
they lost.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't trust the Thunder this year anymore. I thought they were gonna run it back, but I don't know, man. I think once the Nuggets get back Jokic, they could be a problem. The Spurs always have their number. I would take Kevin Durant in a series versus Shea. Right?
You would take that Rockets team over the Thunder team in a playoff
just because of Kevin Durant.
I don't know. I just feel like the Rockets just have a historic bad luck in the playoffs, especially we saw, what was it, 2017-18? They had that series where they're up 3-2 on the Warriors, and then game 4 they missed, what was it, 17-18 3 straight, which is like a 1 out of a million chance of that happening.
But I don't know. I think Kevin Durant really changes a lot because he's a proven playoff player. Like he could play in the playoffs, and Sengun is a really good player.
Yeah.
Reed Shepherd could catch fire whenever he wants, right? He's a sharpshooter. Jabari Smith, solid.
Yeah, they
have a solid roster. Yeah. Amen Thompson's a great defender.
And if they get on a deep run in the playoffs, they might have Fred VanVleet come back. So
yeah,
they're a dark horse team. I definitely agree with you. Then who else would you consider as a threat on the Eastern side that can give one of these top teams in the West a tough shout?
I'm a little biased. If the Celtics get back Jason Tatum, I think they can be. I mean, it's also without Tatum, you're second place right now in the East.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he comes back, it's gonna be a different team, right? Because you have Jaylen Brown playing at an MVP level right now. Pritchard has been playing phenomenal. That rookie Hugo Gonzalez, Brad Stevens knows how to find this talent, and it's crazy that he was a head coach and now he's getting insane talent. Like he knows all this stuff. It's been great. We gotta wrap it up soon. So let's get the last couple things out. Luka homecoming went ballistic to save the win on the homecoming. The Derrick Rose jersey retirement versus the Celtics. That was another big one. Number 1 is officially up in the rafters. And anything you want to just give a shout out to the Knicks for? Because I know you said they're spiraling since their NBA Cup win.
Like we mentioned before, if we can trade Cat, like we mentioned before off the cast, like we can get like a Trey Murphy, like a two-way player. We need several two-way players to replace him because Cat's just inconsistent defensively. Offensively, draws the most offensive fouls in the league, which is ridiculous. Constantly hooks people in the post up. We just got to ride it out at this point because I don't think we can really get a star piece back for Cat. The only trading piece that we want is Giannis, and it seems like he doesn't want to get traded. Now he's hurt, so I guess we got to ride it out and see how this team can fare in the playoffs because last year we did well. I mean, we almost made it to the finals, but obviously that dark horse team in the Pacers again. But they don't have Tyrese Halliburton. We'll see if they can have him by the playoffs. But even if they do make the playoffs, do they make that historic run that they had last year? You guys are a threat if Jason Tatum comes back. The Pistons look good. If they can trade for like a Michael Porter Jr., they even become a better team. Just got to write it out. I still believe we can get to the finals. At the very least, Eastern Conference Finals is mandatory. But if we get to the finals against like the Nuggets or...
I don't know if I trust anyone in the East this year against the West. The West is so good.
Yeah, the West is the stacked division. It's always been. But the East, it's been hampered with injuries. The teams aren't playing that well. We're going to see. Hopefully, we can make it to the finals, and then we're at full strength.
And then, obviously, we hope for more MLB news coming out in the next few weeks with couple trades hopefully for a few teams, but one of the Yankees trade targets that they wanted, Mackenzie Gore, off the board, got traded to the Rangers this past week. What the Yankees are doing, no clue. They seem to just run it back as they always do, just run it back, run it back, run it back. Soto trade was the only year that I feel like the Yankees haven't run it back. They got talent and made their team better, made it to the World Series. But knowing this team, it's gonna be ALCS, World Series, and then just lose in disappointing fashion as they always do, right? I
Yeah.
don't know. They always seem to get to that close, but they never actually
Take that
take
lead.
that lead. Yeah, I don't know. It's the same thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, the Blue Jays." I'm like, "Yeah, the Yankees could they could find a way to beat the Blue Jays in the DS or the CS, get to the World Series, and just find a way to blow it." Like, I have no expectations for that team until they get somebody, but they need bullpen help right now. I think their starting rotation is going to be fine. We only need that 5 right now for a couple, like a month, right? A month and a half until Rodon comes back and then Cole comes back. But I'm okay with the rotation right now. I would have liked another arm, but it's not the end of the world. We need another right-handed bat, and we need some bullpen help. I think that's what we unfortunately need, and there hasn't been really any names floating around right now.
No.
I know they were looking at Harrison Bader. He's off the
don't-
board.
I don't think Cash won't bring him back. Could have brought
he
him
went
back
to the
a couple se-
Giants.
Yeah, could have brought him back a couple years ago. He didn't do. So, is there a player that you can potentially like? Let's say hypothetically speaking, Dominguez and Spencer Jones.
I think Dominguez more than Jones is probably on his way out.
But if they were to trade both of them, who would you want in exchange for those two? Obviously, a superstar level player, like an all MLB player at the very least. You
One
want to get him
thing
back.
I would really want Fernando Tatis.
Yes, he'll be.
I think he would
fantastic.
thrive in New York. Great bat. Loves the energy, like a Soto style. Loves to gloat. Loves to show off his skills. And I think I would love him in the outfield. But who knows? I think that's the one player I want. Any arms? I don't know, but I could see Cashman randomly just finding a random bullpen arm off of waivers and then making him a stud like he always does with Matt Blake. Like
Yeah.
Clay Holmes, Luke Weaver were just random no names, and then they went ballistic for a year. So I can see that happening. So we'll see. But I think that is going to be it. We have to wrap up. It is 10 o'clock. Thank you for everyone tuning in to the weekend sports recap. We will be back next week. Preview a little bit more of the Super Bowl, see if there's any news. College basketball is doing great right now. There's probably going to be great top 25 matchups over the weekend. So we'll recap that. More NBA news, All-Star weekends coming up. So we'll preview that, USA versus World a little bit. And hopefully some more MLB news, pitchers and catchers reporting. World Baseball Classic is on the way. Very excited for that. And thank you everyone for tuning in. See you next week. Same place, same time. Tuesdays at 9 a.m. from the WIUR studios at Iona University.
This is WIUR Radio.
Hi, I'm Morgan Beastie from the Ionian, and I hope you're enjoying today's show. Are you looking for the latest scoop on campus news, sports, and more? Check out the Ionian, Iona University's very own award-winning student newspaper. We keep you up to date with everything happening on